Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of the Kindness Circle podcast. I'm your host, Modula Matapelo. On this platform, we encourage and inspire one another through stories and conversations about kindness to ourselves, to others, and to the world around us. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like this video, to share it, and also leave a comment on the comment section below. If you haven't already, please remember to subscribe to this YouTube channel. By subscribing, you don't have to pay anything. It's completely free. It won't deduct anything from your bank account or from your airtime. By subscribing, it simply shows that you are supporting this channel, and it also helps YouTube move these kind of videos forward, and a message of kindness will reach a wider audience. It's a new month, so happy new month. I can't believe it that it's November already. It feels like just yesterday it was January. Then May, which is my birthday month. Before we knew it, it was June, July. And just like that, we are in November now. Time really does move quickly. As we are stepping into this new month, this is my simple wish for you. May this month be a manifestation of all your silent prayers. May it bring you renewed strength. May this month fill your heart with peace and gratitude, for those two are magnets for a fulfilled life. At this time of the year, I'd like to take time to reflect, because many of us at the beginning of the year, we set goals and make plans for ourselves. Goals such as, going to church more often, starting a business, climbing the corporate ladder, getting married, buying a house, paying off debt, showing up for our loved ones, and so much more. So those are the kind of goals and those are the kind of plans that we make for ourselves beginning of the year. And during this time of the year, we take time to look back and see how far we've come, to see if those things that we have set for ourselves, have we achieved them. And for some years, they did achieve what they've set out to do. And if you are that person, I'd like to say to you, well done. Be proud of yourself. And here on the Kindness Circle podcast, we celebrate and rejoice with you. But to some, it is the opposite. They couldn't achieve the things that they have planned out for themselves in the year. So if you are that person, I'd like to say to you, it's okay. No matter where we are in the year, you can still bounce back and surprise yourself. So when I say you can still bounce back and surprise yourself, I'm not just saying it. I've lived it. I've seen the true power of bouncing back in my life. So I'm going to give you a story just to elaborate more on the power of bouncing back. When we speak of mental health, we like to say it's okay not to be okay, which is true. If you are not okay, you are not okay, and you must acknowledge that season, or you must acknowledge that time of your life. But I'd like to say to you, we mustn't dwell in our sorrows for too long, because as much as it is okay not to be okay, the more you dwell in that phase or in that season of not being okay, it is the more time is lost that you could be using to pursue your dreams, to pursue your goals, to pursue your plans. So it is okay not to be okay, but it's also not okay to dwell for too long in your sorrows. So you need to master the art of bouncing back, which is what I'd like to talk about by sharing with you this story that I'm going to share. So when I say I've lived what I'm talking about, I'm not even joking, because I remember during my university years, obviously I was studying for a job that I wanted, or for my dream job, but there was a burning desire inside of me to start a business. I've always had that entrepreneurial spark within me. It has always been there. So as I had that, I remember 2023. 2023, I can say that is the year um, that I actually realized the desire that has always been inside of me, which is starting a business. But as much as that was the year which I can say I launched the business, it was also not a smooth year. I think on the previous episode I have shared some of my experiences with that year 2023, although I never really went into much details. So I think now it is the time for me to actually share more details as to what was happening during that year. So in 2022, I was an intern for a certain organization, and eventually we were absorbed. The team of intern that was working at the time, we were absorbed into a permanent position. So for many people, like myself, once you get at that stage, the first thing that you think of, it might not be the case for everyone, but once you get permanent, you think of buying yourself a car, because a car these days, like, it creates so much convenience. It is a necessity. So that's the first thing that you do, because we have a pay slip, the power of a pay slip. So you approach those lenders or those organizations whereby you provide your pay slip, and they say, okay, I can actually give you this. So I did the same thing. I went to the bank, and then I was given the money from the bank so that I can do what? I can acquire a car. So that was November 2022. And then I think I bought the car end of November, beginning of December, somewhere there. I can't remember the exact date. So everything was okay. The whole of December, I think I was on leave, and then I was obviously spending time with my family during the holidays, and everything was well until I got back to work, which was January 2023. So, January 2023, what happened is I went back to work on the 10th of January. I think it was a Tuesday. And then everything was okay. And then that was Tuesday, Wednesday. Everything was still okay until Thursday. It's like the criminals were just saying, we've been waiting for you to come back to work. So this has just been 2 days after I got back at work. It was on a Thursday. What happened on that Thursday? Everything was okay until I got to the parking spot, like where I normally park. I was still learning, like, how to park in different, spots and all of that. So I was still learning, like, how to park and all of that. I remember busy, struggling and trying to do what I was doing. I saw a bakkie like behind me. So this bakkie, it's like it was also looking for a space to park. I'm not saying anything about the bakkie, but I'm just saying that's what happened. So as I'm busy there, I'm seeing this bakkie. I don't know when did it move, like from behind, and then all of a sudden it's like we were parallel to each other, but it was a big forward. So this is the bakkie, and this is me trying to like move. And then one occupant from the bakkie came out. And then when he came out, he's like, Sister, ngiyakubona ukuthi uyastruggle. It's mina ngingene. And then, like, I can see that you are struggling. Let me come inside and assist you. So I was like, something clicked in me. Like, who does that though? Like, how can someone assisting you to park ask you to come inside the car? So I said to that guy, no, you can direct me from the outside. I will do it. You can just tell me what to do, then I do it. And that's what happened. He was standing outside, and then he was directing me, no, do this, do that, right? Until eventually I parked. But he was still standing there, and nothing was clicking in my mind, you know. And then I went out. Like when I went out, I remember I saw the window from the back. It was open. And I was like, but I didn't open the window, or maybe I forgot. Like, I didn't open that window. But then I'm like, okay, let me just close. I went back to close and then close the window and then obviously lock the doors. I remember from my memory, I remember even checking the doors because I was told like to always like check your doors before you, after you have locked, before you go your way, right? So that's what I did. I checked the doors and then I just went like it's a normal day, right? And then I went to the building and then I was working, like everything was normal until I knocked off. And then when I knock off, I come back to the same spot where I parked and it's empty. Sorry. And then it's empty. I'm like, maybe I forgot where I parked, ne? Maybe it wasn't here. So like I look around, where else could I park? Because I mean, it could only be here. And then there's no car. So I'm still trying to understand, like, is it really gone? And indeed, like, it was gone. So at that moment, people started gathering around me, asking what's happening. And there's also the street security, they also came through, and what the advice that they gave me at that point in time was that I go to the police station to open a case. And that's what I did. I went to the nearest police station to open a case. And then they tell you that they will be assigning an investigating officer to your case. Okay, that is the procedure. At least I did something. And the funny thing, that was on a Thursday. On Friday, I went to work. When I was telling my other colleagues that this is what happened yesterday, my car was stolen. They were like, your car was stolen yesterday, and when you are here, I don't know what was in my mind during that time. Like, I just felt, okay, I can wake up and go to work regardless of what was happening. But then the following week, obviously, I couldn't go because then it started to click that, no, man, vele, it's gone, So, and this was January 2023. Then obviously you speak to a lot of people, or you speak to different people. Let me not say a lot of people. You speak to different people, trying to give you advice. And just something to mention, the car had no insurance and it had no tracker. So it was just the car moving in the street. And so that means now, obviously, I would remember I went to the bank. So with the bank, it's not whether it's a sad story or a what story. If they gave you their money, they want their money back every month. So it means now I was like, whether the car is there or not, I still had an obligation to the bank. And then so that's what happened. I was just saying that you speak to different people. So someone advised me that try to get a private investigator. This private investigator, obviously, they need to be paid. So when I spoke to them, they're like, you pay this deposit, and this deposit, it's non-refundable. So whether we recover or we don't recover the car, the deposit is gone. So obviously I wanted to do everything that I could at that time. So I paid and I was just waiting for them. By the way, I was reminding them like any update, until eventually I got tired of like following up and asking without receiving any feedback. And just like that, I've never heard from them. I've never heard of any developments, any update, nothing up until this day. And then February, because I always had this desire, in me to start a business. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to allow whatever that is happening, to discourage me or derail me from what I've always wanted to do. So what I did, I went to buy stock for Ora Umpi Baby Shop. So that is the name of the business that I started. So I bought stock for Ora Umpi Baby Shop and I started advertising on my WhatsApp, on Facebook, on Instagram, because those were the platforms that were available to me at that time, And then as time went by, I realized that maybe those platforms especially on social media. Let's say I put them on Marketplace, for example, people are not really trusting if they can't go and see that product. So I thought to myself, let me take advantage of market days. Then I searched market days around me, which I found one. So I was like, it's fine. I can take this stock to the market day, and that's where maybe the products will be visible and people can see that it's not a scam or that kind of thing, right? And I think the market day was in April. But before that, there's something that I'm forgetting. So at the time, I went to, I think around the same month, which was April, I went to a relative's place. And at that relative's place, they had a dog, like a very dangerous dog. There I am going, it's after work, and then I'm going there. I actually had to drop medication for a child. So I'm going there, going to drop the medication off. Yo, just after Kanti, the dog is not closed up where in its house. So it means whoever comes in, is in danger. So now I'm just going there like it's a normal procedure, or it's a normal, thing to do, at the relative's house. So I went there immediately. When I opened the gate, the dog came running for me. Yo. And that dog, it's dangerous. I think eventually they had to let go of it, like give it to SPCA, because that dog, the dog came running to me and it came for my leg and then it bit me. I was like, hi, Bo. So they had to rush me to the hospital because it really did bite me. So they had to rush me to the hospital and they had to do some operation, because like it was a very like serious thing. I think I still have a scar from that. So this is happening April. So now I'm stressed about that issue of the car, which I'm not getting updates for. I just started Ora Umpi baby shop and the stock is not moving. And then now the dog is coming for me and now I'm at the hospital. I'm like, I don't know what is this, but yeah, it's a lot, right? So eventually I was discharged from the hospital. I didn't stay that long. On that, I think they discharged me on Wednesday, if not Thursday. So because I had already made a commitment to take the stock to market day, so on that Thursday or Wednesday that I was discharged, the market day was gonna be on Saturday. So obviously I'm still not like fully healed. I'm still limping, with some bandages on my foot, on my feet. But I was like, regardless of what is happening now, like I'm really gonna go for this market day. And indeed I went. And then at that time I had already came to the realization that if I'm going to stay in the sorrow of what is happening to me at this present moment, I might lose time, of pursuing the things that I've always wanted to pursue. So that is one reason why I pushed myself to go for that market day, even after I was discharged a few days back. I realized that, what, I'm not going to allow myself to dwell too much or to dwell too long in that sorrow, because if I dwell too much in the sorrow, some of the things are going to suffer, and what is going to suffer is those plans and goals that I had set for myself. So I remember one lady from church asking me, I see you posting and you seem like everything is good. I hope that you are not putting a face to whatever that is going on. I really hope that you are really okay, because I'm worried, like, because you seem so okay with all that is happening. And I was like, no, I'm not really putting up a face or anything. But I also told her the same thing, that, what, this has happened. And if I'm always going to be sad about it, and dwell too much in it, it's not going to help me, it's not going to help me. So it's best, like, I did everything that I was supposed to do. I reported the case to the police station. I also acquired the services of a private investigator. So I did everything, So if I'm going to stress, it's not going to help the situation, but at least I did everything that I was supposed to do. So that's what I told her. By then, my mind had already shifted into that realm, or into that space of, okay, we need to keep moving. So, if it was, I feel like if it was maybe somebody else, or if I had not shifted my mind into that space of saying, I can't dwell too much in what is going on, I wouldn't have started the things that I started. Because in May, I also went on to launch my deco business. I remember it was my daughter's birthday. So I was like, I'm going to go acquire all the equipment that is needed for the deco and actually do it as a launch of the business. So I could have stopped all of those things, but I was like, you know what? Time is moving. And these are the goals that I have set for myself at the beginning of the year. So whether come rain or sunshine, I'm pushing myself for this. So when I say to you that I have seen and lived the art of bouncing back, like I really mean it in that way, because now I'm looking back, at those at that year, to say, if I had not started that Ora Ompi baby shop, if I had not started that Ora Ompi deco, I don't know, where would I be? So I'm just like grateful that irregardless of what was happening during that time, I still pushed myself to start the things that were always in my heart. So this is sort of an encouragement for you to say, yes, there are challenges, along the way, but don't let those challenges, derail you. Don't let those challenges discourage you from what you have set for yourself. So that's the message that I really wanted to share with you today. And I hope that you are encouraged to say, no matter what is going on, always master the art of bouncing back, and as quickly as possible, because we are on earth and we are people. A lot of things happen, and those lot of things that are happening, they can easily discourage us. They can easily discourage us from pursuing our dreams, and abandoning our goals. But I'd like to say to you, there is always a storm before the calm. So if you're thinking of giving up, don't give up as yet. And one day you'll be so grateful and thank yourself that you never gave up. And I really hope that this episode, it encourages you. So keep believing, keep pushing, and keep showing up.